Hello, Scoot friends. We've got something different today. Maybe it will interest you, maybe not, but I love this game. Some of my shorts and Instagram posts have been about disc golf. I had a chance to play my favorite course up in Michigan a couple weeks ago and decided to get over my insecurities about being a beginner and being on camera and decided to film the front nine. If you've never played, here's your chance to learn about it in a gorgeous nature preserve. And if you are familiar, you might just enjoy a sneak peek at some of the course. Let's get throwing! I just have to give a big shout out to all of the channels that normally carry a tripod and film themselves doing things. This was a completely different experience for me because I attached the camera either to my chest or I've done it to the handlebars. This whole moving a tripod around and things like that, kudos to all of you who do this on a regular basis. Clearly, I'm going to chat during this episode, and I am not adding a musical soundtrack, as I love the nature sounds and the crunching of my feet as I walk. There will also be some fumbling in my disc bag noises. I do like to listen to music as I play, but I also just like to immerse myself in the outdoor experience even when there is a bit of road noise in the background. So a bit about the game. Like ball golf, many courses are either 9 or 18 holes. Each hole has a number of shots it should take to put your disc in the basket, called par. There are tee pads or launch pads. Sometimes they're called boxes, where you begin each hole. All of the holes on this course have a par of 3. This is the tee pad for hole 1, or the traditional one. But, as you can see as I swing the camera around, you have to throw over a body of water. And one time I did try to throw over and it landed right in the water. Thankfully, my hero, Mr. Scoot Lady, was there, and he took his pants off and waded into the water so that he could get deep enough that our grabber that we have to retrieve discs would be able to pull it out. I was very grateful that day, so instead of throwing from that tee pad as a beginner, I'm going to go and throw from the alternate tee pad for hole 1. This course has been around for a little while and used to be a little bit shorter and didn't have concrete tee pads, so you may notice on some of the holes little wooden pegs or stakes in the ground that have red tips on them. Those are the original short course tees for here at Henderson. Hole 1 from here is roughly 150 feet or 50 meters. Many of the holes you'll see today aren't long distances, but they are heavily wooded and technical. You can just see my disc there, where it hit a tree. Not my best approach, but it should be a makeable putt here. I have totally fallen in love with the sound of discs hitting chains. There is a great app called UDisc where you can track your scores and find courses. So that's what I'm fumbling around on my phone here for, putting my score in. Sometimes I call disc golf hiking with a purpose. This course really exemplifies that. While there won't be any large elevation changes in this one, we'll be surrounded by trees the entire time. I was happy with that one. You might have noticed I am not throwing in a traditional backhand frisbee style. My play is very unorthodox. I throw mainly thumbers from the tee. I am trying very hard to teach myself to throw more conventionally, but my entire life, even being an athlete, I could never throw a frisbee, my Achilles heel of sports. The disc I'm digging around for is one I've named Old Faithful. It is one of the original discs I bought over 20 years ago when my friend Mike first introduced me to the game. I called it Old Faithful because I just know how it works at this point. This past summer in 2023, I was again hanging out with my friend Mike. Shout out to him. We actually did a crossover episode, so feel free to check that out if you want to see him. And he got us all out on a course because he loves to play. I was reminded how much I had enjoyed it the first time we'd played 20 years ago. And so I dove deep into all of it, and here we are today. I'm filming it and talking about it. Who would have thunk? You might have noticed that I threw two discs from the same position there, even though it was off camera. Oftentimes when practicing like this, I will double putt. I did go back, of course, and re-putt the one that I missed from where it lay. Just like in golf, you pick up wherever your disc landed off of your throw, unless it lands out of bounds or in a hazard or something like that, but we're not going to get that deep into the rules today. This is just basic fun. The very first rule of disc golf is the most fun wins. So you're out there to have fun, no matter your score. And I can always find something in each round, even if it's been an ugly one, that I know I had fun and I enjoyed myself. It's basically impossible for me, though, to not have fun at this course because seriously, how beautiful is this place? Hole 3 is a 218-foot, 73-meter par 3. There are all sorts of different shot types and shot styles that you can learn based off of the position of your disc. It does get complicated, but the basic thing you need is a frisbee and a willingness to throw it, walk after it, pick it up, throw it again. Also, don't tell anybody I said frisbee. That's frowned upon. You should always call them discs. So far, I'm pretty happy with the way I've been throwing. I am not a person throwing for birdie, which means one throw less than par. I am playing for par. I, more often than not, though, get one throw or two throws over par, depending on the distance of the hole, which are called bogey and double bogey, and so on, just like in standard ball golf. And if you go 2 under par, it is also called an eagle. If you get it in the basket straight from the tee, it's called an ace. The course here at Henderson Lake Nature Preserve, or as the locals call it, Hendy, I picked that up at the local disc golf shop, thank you very much, is considered to be a mid-length course. And The holes are also considered to be technical due to all of the trees. There are many disc golf players who absolutely hate courses like this. I love them because they're so beautiful and because I don't have huge distance on my shots. They don't get too lost in the woods. We have made it to hole 4, 293 feet, 98 meters, still a par 3.
Not a good choice.
I really wish that the baskets were more visible on the camera to you from far away. The basket is sort of straight ahead of where I'm facing at this point, but the fairway technically goes kind of diagonally off to the right, and then it curves back to the left where the basket is. So I'm just trying to just get closer to the basket. That's always my goal. This is the first hole today where I am not going to be in a very good position to be able to putt for par. I am still going to try and putt for par though, with the disc I'm choosing. It's just a very, very long putt. You can just see the basket way back straight ahead. If you're counting, that was a double bogey. 2 over par for a total of 5 throws for me to get it into the basket this time. When reading reviews, some people really don't like it if there's a long walk or any walk at all between holes. In some courses, when you finish a basket, the next tee pad is immediately visible and is just a short distance away. One of my favorite things about this course is that you get to take a little hike in between each hole. Give yourself a little time, enjoy some nature, breathe, reset if you're disappointed in how you performed in the previous hole, or celebrate if you're happy about it. But again, it's just about having fun. We've made it to hole 5, which is listed at 175 feet or 58 meters. This hole is a little different for me because if you notice there are some low-hanging trees, so I can't actually effectively throw my overarm throw here. So here is your chance to watch me awkwardly throw a backhand for the first time off the tee. My backhand is still improving. I'm working on it and my form to try and maximize what I can do with my terrible knees. There are certain movements that are really, really difficult for me, so I make adjustments so that I can still play. At this point, I am speeding up the footage because it took me 2.5 minutes to find my disc. It turned out it was a case of I didn't give myself enough credit. I thought I was further from the fairway, and I thought I hadn't thrown it as far as I had. This is part of not having any faith in being able to throw backhand. So I searched for my disc. You are allowed in official tournaments 3 full minutes to do so, and then threw from that position, which is slightly off camera here. One of the things about my overarm thumber approach throwing that I use is that the discs fly upside down. This is why I'm trying really hard to teach myself to throw a traditional backhand style so that I can get the full flight patterns from the discs in a more appropriate way because that's how they're designed to fly. I can still make them do things, and in fact on courses like this where there is sand or mulch on the fairways, I get really great slides and skips from my different throwing style. I missed both of those long putting attempts, but I'm pretty pleased with where they went. If you're keeping score with me, that was also a bogey, 1 over par. If anybody can identify any of the birdsong we're hearing today, please let me know in the comments. I don't know a lot about birds, but they are sure nice to listen to. Welcome to hole 6, 204 feet, 68 meters. Sounds like I've stopped here for a water break. It's very important to hydrate on the course. It's impossible to play this course without hitting a tree or two. It just happens. I ended up leaving myself a pretty tricky putt here. I am behind the trees and need to shoot through to be able to reach the basket. I should have filmed from a better angle, but I do show the shot after I've taken it from the angle I had to shoot from. I started getting a little creative in how I was trying to throw the disc here for the putt. Because I had to split the two trees, I ended up trying to throw vertically, and well, as you can see, it didn't really work out for me, but eventually they all went in the basket. This was my view that I was putting through. Short walk to hole 7, which is 307 feet or 102 meters. Yep, that's pretty narrow. You probably heard the crack of me hitting wood there down at the end. Hey, it's the tree I hit. Hi, tree. You're lovely. I did think about editing this a bit, cutting out some of the slow walking from spots to spot, but I really wanted you to get the full experience of what it's like to play disc golf. If you thought this was kind of fun and you'd like to see me do more but would maybe cut down some of the excess walking, let me know. As you can see, I have a great shot straight through a whole bunch of trees again. Perfect. At this time, disc golf is a very male dominated pastime, sport, activity, and there are many leagues that are out there that welcome everybody, but I was lucky that I found a Chicagoland women's only league called the Heiser Honeys. Heiser is one of those types of shots I told you I wasn't going to talk about because it's all sorts of complicated, and we weren't going to get that complicated this time. I'm very excited, and even though I don't anticipate ever doing very well in the competition aspect of it, it is really fun to get out there and play with other women and talk to them about their favorite players and their favorite discs and that sort of thing. This is hole 8, 270 feet or 90 meters, and we've got one more to go after this, and it is my favorite hole on this course. I hope you're sticking around for it. I'm sure you can't tell, but I am proudly wearing my Disc Golf Chicago jersey that I got. I have yet to play with that league, but they are the ones that connected me to the Birdie Babes, which connected me to the Heiser Honeys, which is the league I mentioned earlier. It's fun to wear my Chicago gear when I'm playing in Michigan. One of the things I like about this course, other than it being super scenic, is at each of the tee pads there is a bench where you can sit if you need to or set your bag down, and most of them, if not all, have garbage cans too. I left this one right there at the bottom of the basket, so just an easy tap in there to finish. I've got my small bag on today rather than my big backpack. This one holds less discs, but I thought it would be easier to manage while I was dealing with the tripod and everything. And now we're on our way to my favorite hole. It is hole 9, and it is listed at 134 feet or 45 meters, and it is the very first hole I ever got a birdie on. But look at this. You come around this corner, and there is an amazing fort that has been built here. Looks like a teepee, big branches leaning up. It's got a great little entryway. I'll go take a look inside of it here in just a second. But I was so surprised the very first time I arrived here. I've never seen anything like it at another hole, at another course anywhere. You might be thinking, That's not a very far distance to throw. No, it's not, but as you can see here, there are a lot of trees in the way, and it's actually down a little slope, so you can't see it from where I am throwing. I was really hoping to have not hit that tree there, but I did, and so unfortunately I'm not going to capture a birdie on film today. Womp womp. I did try twice though. The first one I was trying to do a traditional backhand putt approach, and the second one was my overhand thumber approach. If you see, the backhand is to the left and is much further away than the yellow one to the right of the basket. You can see why it's hard for me to give up the way I started. Felt good to hit both of those from the further away approach shot. Thanks for throwing with me today. Honestly, I had a bit of a hard time deciding if I was going to use this footage because I really don't like looking at myself on camera. But I really love this game and decided I would share it anyway. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you made it this far, I really hope you like and subscribe if you haven't already. I really appreciate it. I'll see you next Wednesday. Same Scoot time, same Scoot channel.